Hi guys, sorry about that. I actually didn't connect to the right Wi-Fi spot. So although the car is smart, it is still subject to a little bit of human error. But we're back. We have Wi-Fi and we are on a test drive in the new 2017 540. So, Brandon, you were talking about pretty much the coolest things that the cars can do. Tell me, if I were to drive this car every day, what do you think the most useful piece of technology is? I think the most useful piece of technology for a daily driver is going to be basically the actual driving dynamic of the vehicle. It's easy to drive, it's smooth, as well as if you have an iPhone, Apple CarPlay. BMW is one of the only, actually it's not one of the only, it is the only car manufacturer that actually has true wireless Apple CarPlay. So you don't need to plug your phone into anything for it to work. We're one of a kind for doing that. BMW didn't want to release CarPlay unless it was wireless. So it makes it convenient for you getting in the car and out of the car. You just hop in, it's going to automatically connect your phone. You're able to view all your contacts, Apple Maps if that's what you prefer. Personally, I like the BMW's Maps a little bit better because it's Google integrated. But you'll be able to see all your Spotify applications, Pandora, TuneIn Radio, Slacker, all that stuff, all your typical in-car applications that you'd be able to use. And hopefully soon enough, we'll be integrating Waze into that as well. So that will make everyone's day-to-day commute a little bit easier. And as far as the driving now, so you said it's a smooth ride.
Very smooth.
Is this one of your favorite BMW models to drive? Could you argue that it's slowly but surely becoming your favorite?
So, prior to this, my favorite BMW car to actually drive is the 2 Series. It has been very highly commended upon its driving capabilities, and that it's kind of bringing back the M class, getting back into BMW's natural driving skills. But then I drove this, and I'm not really much for big cars. I like much smaller cars. I have a 2017 Mini Cooper John Cooper Works, and that's a really, really small car. This, however, drives like a small car, but you can still fit a lot of people in it. It's extremely comfortable and quick to drive. I would much prefer this car out of almost any of our cars, excluding our M division.
And would you say it's good for going fast?
Well, why don't you tell me? We'll pop it into sport mode and we'll give it a nice little kick in the leg.
Not that we condone
And
speeding.
just like that, we're doing about 70 miles an hour.
And coming down pretty comfortably. I mean, I can say that I didn't really feel anything as far as discomfort. I mean, I know we were going quick, but speed-wise, it's definitely smooth.
And now we're right back into comfort with an easy transition, which is fantastic because you don't have to come to a complete stop like a traditional four-wheel drive system. Just like the rest of our BMWs in the lineup, you have the quick buttons right down here for Sport, Comfort, Economy, Pro, and Adaptive, which is new for the 5 Series. It has never been in this car before. Now, a little bit about that adaptive mode, it's really neat. So when you press that, it's actually going to take into consideration the way that you're driving the vehicle and adapt towards you, because it's going to transition itself into sport mode and the transmission as well. Part of that is it actually uses navigation, transmission shift points while you're driving aggressively on, let's say, a back road. When you're coming up to that turn, it's going to
Oh, here we go, we're back. So, I'm sorry, you were saying, I was telling you I'm not the greatest driver, and you were telling me...
So, even though you may not be the greatest driver, this car can make a great driver out of you. A lot of people at the M division and just BMW in general, they've been doing this for quite some time, so they really know what's going on, and they know how the car needs to drive. So they used all of their technology and their systems to make sure that despite the fact that you might not be the best driver, you could still bring this to the track and kick some ass.
And I know when we got in my car, you had set it to your own profile. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so one of the really cool things in here, which I can bring up real quick by one of the shortcut buttons that I already preset, you have different driver profiles in this system. So you can have up to 3 driver profiles and then a guest mode. Let's say if you were going to valet the car and you didn't want anyone messing around with your seat or your stereo settings. That guest mode is going to delete itself after 24 hours of not being used. But then the other 3 driver profiles, let's say you could have your husband, your wife, and maybe your oldest kid. You can have all your own mirror, radio, seat settings, even the temperature for the climate control can be saved to that driver profile. So it makes it really easy, because when you hop in the car, it just kind of asks you, all right, who's driving? And you just say, all right, Brandon's driving. And then it goes to all my settings.
So they've really thought of everything as far as the driver. It's not just about the car, it's about who's driving it.
Absolutely, and the cool thing too is that driver profile setting, it's not just in the 5 Series. We do offer that in almost every single one of our cars in the lineup. So despite that that's an awesome feature in this car, it's in a lot of our other cars too.
That's awesome. What about gas? I know that that's something that a ton of people, I mean, you don't want a car that's going to be a real gas guzzler, and I know you were talking about how you like the 2 Series because it's small and economic. How is this on gas? How is the fuel economy?
So despite the fact that I'm a very aggressive driver, I can still manage to easily get 21 miles to the gallon, and that's pretty low for this car realistically. You should in the real world be seeing around 24 miles to the gallon average, and that's just combined. That's not city, that's not highway. On the highway you could be seeing the high side of the 20s, maybe 32 if you're on the generous side, but you know, that's not really what the car is all about. If you want to get a little bit more on the efficient side, we do offer also a 4-cylinder option for this vehicle. So we have the 530, and we've been seeing some people actually getting almost 40 miles to the gallon on the highway in that car, which is pretty awesome for a vehicle of this size and its class.
I know. I definitely thought about climbing into the back seat and doing more of a chauffeur kind of thing. You know, it definitely looks comfortable and roomy back there, but I settled for the front seat. Plenty of leg room up here too, and obviously great company. I mean, can't really ask for a better driver, especially when I'm telling you I'm not the greatest.
I'd have to agree, you are awesome company to have in the car today.
And what about, I know we had played with it beforehand. When we're talking about smart technology, you were telling me about park assist, and we had played with it earlier. Maybe we can try when we get back to the dealership, depending on how many seats. So this is a self-park car.
Yes, so this car can actually parallel park and perpendicular park itself in a spot. As well as if you get a special option with the display key, you can actually, once the vehicle has been parked, or let's say the parking spot might be a little bit too tight, you can actually be standing outside the car and park the car with the key fob without having to be in the vehicle. So the car will start itself and drive itself using all the sensors around the car, and you don't have to be in the car. So if you come back to your car and, you know, if you're from New England, you park in Boston a lot of the time you come back and you might not be able to get back in your own car, which I've had happen to me quite a few times, unfortunately.
Haven't we all?
Had to go shopping for an hour or two until the guy comes back to move his car.
Or, however, you're like me and you just can't parallel park.
Yes, so we cater to everyone's need. In the fact that you can just be outside the car, you turn the car on with the key, and then it needs to back up. But oh no, what if little Timmy runs out behind the car? The car has its own sensors, and it's going to stop the car immediately. So you don't have to worry about cats, dogs, kids, or anything like that running in front or behind the car. And other cars too. So the car's cameras and sensors actually monitor the lines for parking spots. And even if there's no lines for the parking spots, it's going to guide itself up the cars around it. So you wouldn't have to worry about hitting anything.
I'm going to see if we have any questions from our followers. I know that a lot of people are starting to kind of tune in. So I wonder if they have questions that we haven't gone over yet. That's definitely the perks of Facebook Live. I mean, we wanted to do this in real time. So everyone can see. Oh, Vivian wants us to punch it up Route 1.
All right,
Let's see.
Vivian, why don't you take a good look at the gauges and watch me punch it right now.
Let's watch. And then we're going to come right back down. Not something that we advise to every driver, though. Definitely not. Just, you know, once in a while, having a little fun doesn't hurt.
I guess I'm just not afraid to lose my license.
And I'm not afraid to not wear my seatbelt with him in the car.
Absolutely. You drive this car, and that's actually another cool thing. When you have the seatbelt on, as soon as you put it on and put it in drive, it's actually going to kind of pull you into the seat and see how far it can pull you in, just to make sure that if you do punch it like we just did, it holds you firmly in place.
Testing your limits is not something you have to be afraid of, I guess.
Absolutely not.
Anyone else have any questions for us? We're definitely happy to answer them as we're en route back to the dealership.
I am a product specialist, so any question you ask, I should be able to answer.
Let's test him a little bit, huh? Pretty cool. And of course, you have, like Brandon said earlier, the sound system that we have going. That is Brandon's phone in there as well. He does. So it's wireless. Is that what you said earlier?
It is wireless charging. So, although Apple, for example, does not offer built-in wireless charging on their phones, BMW has come up with a solution. We do have cases for the iPhone that will allow you to wirelessly charge your phone.
BMW is asking us, are we comfortable in the seatbelt? So I would say the seats are extremely comfortable.
Absolutely. So this car actually has the multi-contour seats. So it has shoulder articulation, it has pillows on the headrests, and it has leg extensions. So for someone like myself, though I may not be the tallest person, it still helps out a lot. Makes you a lot more comfortable and make sure that you're in the right position for while you're driving. As well as some of those people that might have some back issues, the lumbar and adjustable side bolstering is great too.
And Courtney just asked, are we going to see some exterior features? I know that we've done the interior today. I think we can show the inside, the outside of the car when we get out. We'll give you a quick snapshot so that you know what it looks like. And then tomorrow, we talked about doing another video.
Yeah, so tomorrow, hopefully, we plan to do another Facebook Live video around the same time. And we will do a quick overview of the exterior of the vehicle and the things that they have changed for the better, and hopefully no one thinks for the worse.
Which is exactly why we told you follow too, because if you click follow at the bottom, it should be in the bottom corner of the video, whether you're on your phone or on your desktop, you can follow and get notifications from when me and Brandon do videos. We're gonna try to do them semi-regularly just to give you an inside shot. I mean, come on guys, is this not the coolest thing ever that Facebook lets us do? And I will say I do appreciate the big sunroof. I mean, there's plenty of room in here. You're definitely going to get lots of light in the summertime, and obviously days like today where it's freezing outside.
You can't forget the perfect selfie lighting.
Oh, no, perfect. Ready? Say cheese.
Although you shouldn't do it while you're driving.
No, we do not condone.
If you did, though, stop paying attention to the road. The BMW's got your back with all the driver assistance features. It's not going to let you plow into someone's car.
They've really thought of everything.
Hopefully we'll be able to turn around that mass hole driving record.
I think you're getting ahead of yourself, Brandon. I think that not everyone is as great of a driver as you. I mean, we can make up for it a little bit, though. And as you probably see if you're familiar with the dealership, we're kind of pulling straight through and parking in a few minutes because we're going to pull right in. So what do you do if, you see our video, you love our video, and you're like, I need this car?
If you need this car, which I think everyone should need this car, But let's face it, no one needs a BMW. Everyone just wants a BMW. And there's a reason for that. If you want this car, if you need this car, you just need to come to the dealership. You can call, make an appointment if you want to see me or one of our client advisors here, and we'd be more than happy to show you this car.
Now, one more question. Gwendolyn wants to know, do the tire life, do they go flat? What's the tire life from this vehicle?
So the actual tire life, BMW rates these tires at around, I believe, 30,000 miles a set. Now, here's the thing with that though. These are run flat tires, so they have a slightly shorter lifespan than other tires. Now with that, if you got a flat tire and it's pouring rain, I don't think you want to get out of the car to change that on your new 5 Series. If that happened because of the run flat tires, you can continue driving for 50 miles at 55 miles per hour when you have a flat tire. So you can get to the nearest gas station, you can get home, or you can get to your nearest BMW dealership. So that's going to help you out a lot right there.
Saving the day. Is it you or is it BMW? That is the question.
Me. I don't know if I'm saving the day, but BMW doesn't make the tires either, so we have BMW certified tires that go with it, whether that be Continentals, which is on this car right here, Michelin's, or even Goodyear Eagle F1s, which are a really awesome sports summer tire.
Perfect. Now we're back at the dealership because you can kind of see it in the background, BMW gallery right there. So let's get out. I'll give you a few exterior shots and then we'll let you get on with your day. But be sure to tune in tomorrow at right around 12 so that we can go over the exterior of the vehicle. So who wants to see the outside? So getting out. Brandon, car, easy to get out. Just a few. I'll just walk around really quick. And if you guys have no more questions, I think we will let you go for the day. No problem, Gwendolyn. And hope to see you guys again tomorrow. Say bye, Brandon. Say bye.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bye.